Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and I've got another Ichiban Kuji prize figure to unbox for you today. Now I'm changing it up a little bit. My random pick today was the B prize from the Jujutsu Kaisen the second Kuji. Now this series came actually with 4 figures in it. The A, B, C, and D prize were all figures. A prize was Yuji, B prize was Megumi, the C prize was Nobara, and the D prize was Gojo, I believe, or one of the other ways around. And then they actually had a 5th figure for the last prize, which was Sukuna. So this actually was a pretty decent Kuji. It had a good haul of figures. It also had a bunch of acrylic stands of them kind of in like track and field, like sports gear, stuff like that. It had some little tiny minifigures and some towels, I think, or clear files, stuff like that. So it had a whole bunch of prizes, but having a bunch of figures is always a good thing with a Kuji, especially if you are playing it. More figures it has, better chance you have of getting something cool like this. So I do have this entire run all the way up to the last prize of Sukuna. And again, I randomly chose something today, and it was, of course, the smallest box. So this guy should not take long. Obviously, this is Megumi, and he is kind of a fan favorite. So I won't get into too much of his details. Don't want to spoil his character for any of those who aren't either into the series farther or into the manga farther, so I don't really want to spoil anything about him. But he's a pretty cool character. He's kind of more like the stoic, serious character in the series as far as our main heroes go. So obviously Yuji is kind of the goofball, and he's kind of like the serious one to the foil of Yuji. But anyways, as always, I'm going to bring you guys in. Let you take a look at this very small box, and we're going to open him up and check out how he looks compared to things like the Sega Prize figures that I have here. So this one's actually pretty heavy. But we're going to go take a look at this box right now, and then we're going to pop inside. All right, so you can see this is kind of a plain box. I mean, it's got some splashes of colors and stuff here and there. Obviously, it's showing its Kuji figure. It is the B prize. And obviously, everything in this is in Japanese. Some of them, they're not. Some of them have a lot of stuff in English. This is all in Japanese. So it does have a window here. And you can see why this box is so small, because Megumi is kind of crouched down. So we've got a window here on the side with some more splashes of paint. Some window here on the other side with splashes of paint. Here up top, we have more of a paint splash with the Jujutsu Kaisen logo on it, and the B prize information as well. And on the back, we have all of the details about the figure, obviously in Japanese. Google Translate is your friend if you're trying to figure out what this says. But that's it. Very basic box. All of them are like this. Obviously, some are going to be taller than others, but his is the smallest. So not much really to look at here. Going to probably be a cool looking figure. Let's open him up. Check it out right now. Okay, so let's take a look inside here. It's a clamshell, so it's going to get loud. Again, a very tiny box. It's all just blue inside. Nothing really fancy. And obviously, he is small. He's in a short clamshell here. I mean, obviously, you can tell here next to a prize figure, he doesn't stand very tall. So we're going to cut here. This is actually on the corners as well. So be careful. Cut the corners. Pop him open. And he is all one piece. Has a cool looking base. It's I guess. I mean, it's your standard fare for a prize figure to have these black bases, but at least they have like a splash of color here. You know, I can appreciate that. He does have a peg. This is very, very lightweight compared to what a lot of the prize figure bases are, though. Probably because it's hollowed out, which I think more of them should do that, because having it be lighter does help. Now, Megumi is all wrapped up here. Not really much to him. He's just kind of sitting there crouched, making his little hand gesture for his summons. And that's about it. So he does have a key right here on his foot, which is really weird because it keys in, and it's very weird because it keys in and it actually pushes here. So I don't know how that works, but that's very weird. Never seen them do that before. It kind of pushes through. Not really a fan of that. For some reason, the key pushed through. Not really sure why it did that, but that's very odd. So we're going to try to hold this part down and put his foot in at the same time, because that was really weird how it just kind of popped out. But now it's in, and there he is. So just one little peg, boom, popped him in, and it's done. So I'm going to bring you guys in, as always, let you guys take a closer look at him and size him up next to some prize figures as well, because he looks like he's actually kind of small. So we're going to size him up. Obviously, he's in a crouching position, so that's probably a lot of the reason why. But comparing him to these larger prize figures I have over here, he might still even look a little tiny. But I'm going to bring you guys in. Let's take a look at him right now. Alrighty, so here is a kind of zoomed out 360 of him right here. Again, not a lot to him. He is obviously crouched down, and the thing about Jujutsu Kaisen is their characters are not very flashy, but their battles are. So they all wear their standard school uniforms. You know, he's in his Jujutsu High uniform, so it's nothing fancy or anything like that. It's a cool looking pose. Obviously, different than what a lot of the prize figures are. A lot of the prize figures, he's in his same pose, kind of just sitting. These are this one, they did something a little different. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, kind of give you a better view. And again, this is a smaller figure, so there's not a lot to cover. But as you can see here, you got a little bit of color splash on his base, which kind of does help being so simplistic. All the lines and everything on his uniform and everything else, his boots, everything looks good. Obviously, I didn't brush him off from being in the packaging for so long. The hand, with his hand gestures, is actually sculpted really, really well. So that's a good thing as well. So his hands don't look all messy or anything like that, which is typically what you do with the Kuji figures, is you get a little bit higher end. Here is that foot. Now, it was weird, like I said, when that foot went in, that peg right there on the bottom actually popped out. So that was really weird. It was almost like it screwed up the peg. But I fixed it just by pushing it back up. So again, he is in a crouch position. Sorry, ladies, he's not wearing booty huggers. So yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to get to look at the booty. But, his suit does have this shiny sheen to it that they usually do. And they did do a really good job on his face. He has his typical kind of stoic, pissed off look. The nose has a very weird, clear to it almost. It's very weird, like the nose and the ears. They almost look, in certain light, they look like they're a different color. I'm going to try to dim this light for you guys. See if it looks a little bit better. All right, that looks a little bit better. It might have been too bright to where it almost looked like it was translucent. But the hair is okay. I noticed this one does have a little bit of a chip right here in the paint, or just a little piece that needs to be sanded down. Kind of sucks, as always with these when that happens, but Kuji figures definitely can be a hit or miss. The rest of the hair looks good. They actually use different colors on different parts of the hair to kind of almost give it a bluish tone. So it looks pretty good. Again, it's Megumi. Not a lot to write home about, just because it's, again, very basic figure. But I'm going to show you guys kind of how he looks at some of the larger Sega prize figures that I've done already, and let you guys kind of take a look at how he looks with them. So here he is with the Sega Figurism Yuji. And I mean, honestly, this prize figure is one of the most impressive ones I've seen in a long time. And he does size up with him pretty well. They're actually almost on exactly the same scale, I'd say. So he does actually fit with something like this too. And yeah, they look good together. I mean, obviously, they made the purplish tone of the uniform here, whereas obviously Yuji over here has a black, it looks more black than purple. so they took a different approach. But looks really good. They actually look super, super good together. And again, this Yuji is one of the most impressive prize figures that I've seen. So I did highlight him on this channel before. And I'm going to show you guys with the Figurism Gojo as well. So the Figurism Gojo does stand a lot taller than Itadori. I'll show you right here. Here's Itadori right here. So again, he does stand a lot taller than Itadori does. So very cool looking still. They even actually fit together good too. Just kind of Gojo in like plain clothes and his bare feet. But just wanted to show you guys what they look like with a few of these. And again, I will show you the rest of the Kuji figures as I unbox them together. Okay, so that was it for another Ichiban Kuji prize figure. And again, this was from the Jujutsu Kaisen, the second series. And this was obviously Megumi. Now, again, he is pretty cool looking. Obviously, I have a problem with the hair kind of having that defect in it, but I think it is something that actually be sanded off. It looks like it might just be excess kind of white that can just get sanded off. But I don't know if when I sand it down, if it's going to be the right color or if it's going to need to be touched up. So I might just leave it as is and not try to make it worse. But that's kind of how it usually is with prize figures, especially things with spiky hair. A lot of the times, it's a crapshoot. I've had a couple of Yujis where the spikes are broken or something like that in his hair. Luckily, most of those I got off Amazon, so I was able to return those. This one, obviously, I think is out of print now, so I don't know if I'll be able to do anything as far as reaching out to Bandai. And again, it's not that huge of a deal, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. Obviously, from farther away, you don't even notice it. Not until you zoom in and get up close do you notice it. So, all in all, he's a cool figure. Especially if you like his character and you've noticed a lot of his figures and his prize figures are kind of him in like the crouching, like not a crouching position, more like a kind of like a wide leg stance, like doing like one of his hand gestures, you know. So they're all kind of the same wide stance. I think I've done 2 prize figures here on the channel, and they both literally were in the same exact position. 2 different companies, just the same exact pose. So having him kind of in a different position actually makes him stand out among some of the others. But as you can see here, I mean, this thing is a $20 Sega prize figure, and he's fan-freaking-tastic. So this is where stuff like this just shocks me, because this thing should be like a $50+ figure probably. When you go with something like this that is a $50+ figure, you're like, something is not like the other. But this thing's got the whole effects. It's got everything going with it. So it's really, really cool. I was very impressed with this. So it's a hit or miss with this. And it kind of depends on how much you like this character, I think. And again, how kind of hard up you are to get a Megumi in a different pose. Because again, every prize figure, and even like the Kotobukias, they're all in the same pose. So having something with a little bit of a different pose does stand out a little bit and helps you group him in different kind of sets. I like him. I think he's done really well. But again, Jujutsu Kaisen characters are not very flamboyant with their costumes or anything like that. Something like this that has all the effects coming off it really helps the bland costumes pop. So he's cool. I'm not going to rate him super high. I'm only going to give him probably like maybe a 7, like a low 7, just because it's really nothing that spectacular. And I know all other 4 characters in this set are going to blow him away just by looking at them in their window boxes. So they're going to be way more impressive. But again, without his creatures and stuff like that coming around him, or his wolves or anything like that, he doesn't really stand out. Whereas all the other characters have these things they can do and have these effects that kind of come off, like Yuji or Nobara with her hammer and her nails, things like that. So everyone kind of has something. But unfortunately, unless he has his creatures with him, he doesn't really have a lot effects-wise to pop. So he tends to look very plain. But All in all, I mean, I think he's solid. I think it's, again, nice that they gave him a different pose, and it's okay. It's not one of my favorites by far, but it probably is my favorite Megumi, at least, that I've seen so far, or at least that I have. So take that how you want. Obviously, the whole set's probably going to look really cool together, and I'll probably unbox a few others of those. But that is it for this unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys liked them more than me, obviously, let me know. If you guys want to see me do the rest of these, also give me a shout in the comment section down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, which this week I'll be doing for my random pop-up parade, Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail in just her basic armor. And possibly, if you guys have seen the social posts this week, possibly a very, very big bunny girl of Albedo from Overlord. Now, I'm going to be doing her or an Iron Studios piece. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. So keep checking back on the socials and checking in to see what I end up doing. And if I do it, I will make sure I let everyone know. But again, if you guys like the content, click all the like buttons, the share buttons, the sub buttons. Click that dislike button if you thought he sucked. And follow on all the socials. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye, everyone.